conversation. These brothers here, when you see them, you might think, oh, they're not Ghanaians. Oh, see, when I was having a conversation with them before we even came on air, I said, you're Ghanaians? Yeah, proud ones. Now, I want you to take a look at their profile video, the Desmond brothers, and when we come back, we'll get talking to them.
The Desmonds. David Fairfield Desmond and his wife Joan arrived in Ghana in 1952 with their daughter Miriam, driven by a passion to serve. While in Ghana, David taught at Maoli Secondary School and Joan worked at the school's health post, initiated a well baby clinic, and volunteered at the Whole Leprosarium. They had 4 children: Miriam, born in 1951, Edwin in 1953, Fred in 1956, and Eric in 1957. The family left Ghana when the children were around 17. David retired in 1977 after 25 years in Ghana and later worked as a teacher and environmental chemist in the U.S., retiring in 2005. David passed away a few years ago and Joan in 2007. The family returned to Ghana for the 50-year jubilee of Maoli Secondary School in 2000, where a science building was named in David's honor. Edwin Desmond is a mental health professional, musician, and artist. He enjoys playing folk rock music, drumming, wood carving, painting, and has a passion for science, math, and soccer. Fred Desmond, a retired mental health professional, lives in Florida with his family and enjoys home renovation projects. Eric Desmond, a retired agricultural engineer, lives in Asheville, North Carolina. He enjoys gardening, beekeeping, traveling, and brewing beer with his wife, Sue. The Desmond family's legacy is one of service, creativity, and passion.
The Desmond family, the Desmond brothers are here. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How are you? So I have Edwin, Fred, and Eric.
That's right. Yes.
Welcome once again.
Thank you.
When did you come to Ghana? I mean, when did you come for the visit?
Last Monday.
Last Monday.
Yeah, a week ago.
A week ago. And you're here for how long?
Until Friday.
Until Friday.
Yeah.
So just 1 week.
Yes.
But how has it been so far?
So far, it's been absolutely wonderful.
Right.
We got a chance to take a trip to where I was born, at Ho, and I saw Maoli Secondary School, which is I graduated from there in 1970.
Okay.
And so
you went to Maoli?
I went to Maoli for 3 years.
Okay.
And my brother went for 1 year also.
Okay.
So we primarily went to GIS, living in Accra, because our families were living in places where they didn't have schools, English-speaking schools for us. So we all came to a boarding house in Accra. In fact, it was at Kokolemle we started. And here's a picture of me. Here, this is a gift for you. This is a CD that I made 60 years after I lived there, with the actual boys that I lived with. We're all in a band, internet band.
And they were all in the Volta region with you?
We were all here in Accra.
Yeah, in Accra, at GIS?
At GIS.
GIS.
We went to GIS during the day, and then we stayed at the boarding house. And then the boarding house moved to cantonments.
Okay.
And we could walk to school. And coming back and going to GIS, touring the school, going to Maoli, it's been absolutely a dream come true for me. I spent my whole life thinking about coming home. Okay. And here I am again.
And here you are.
Yes.
So after you left, this is the first time you're coming?
I actually came back with my wife in, 1976.
Okay.
But that's the last time I've been here, so it's that's like 49 years since I've been back, and it's been way too long.
It's been way too long. Have things changed since the last time you came?
Things have changed a lot in many ways, and yet the Ghanaian people are the same, and that's what we loved about growing up here.
Right.
And that's what we love to see when we come back. So Accra has grown a little bit.
Just a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah. It's like all the way almost to Aburi. And before it was much, much smaller.
Right.
But again, that's not what's important. What's important is the people are the same. And we've been welcomed with open arms and genuineness, and it's just been wonderful. It's been it's almost like a pilgrimage, coming back to our home.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know why I've stayed away for so long.
So long. So now you're going to be coming often.
We're going to be coming back again, yes.
Again and again and again.
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
amazing. You are the youngest, right?
I am.
Okay. And how old are you?
Think about that.
He's that old that he has to think about it.
67.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So when you left, how old were you?
I was 17.
You were also 17. So you all left at the age
I
of
was
17.
17.
Graduated from GIS or MAI.
Okay.
And then we went back to the States for college.
Oh, so your dad made sure everybody schooled till 17 before he...
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
That's
to
amazing.
finish our secondary education.
Our O-levels. We took our O-levels. And then
That's great.
that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your fondest memory back then?
Say it again.
Your fondest memory?
My fondest memory. Oh,
eating fufu.
there are too many. Too many. But food, just traveling around Ghana, meeting
Playing
people.
soccer.
Oh, he
He
likes
played
playing
soccer
soccer?
for Ohio State University.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's great.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
We still play.
You still play?
We still play.
All
yes.
of us.
I play in a rec
Love us.
league. Yeah.
But he's the most accomplished player.
Okay. Oh,
He's
that's
the
great.
number 9 in the family.
Oh, wow. That's great. Amazing. So since you've been here, I mean, what brought you back?
Well, a number of things. We have a group of people that all grew up here. There were about 40. And we had a reunion in Denver, USA. And 35 of this group all got together for a retreat. And we decided we all have to come back to see the place. And so many of the people said, well, since I am kind of the leader of the group, I have to come back first, find out how to get accommodations and transportation and all that. And once I pave the way, this is kind of a fact-finding mission, then we're having a retreat in the U.S. in October. I'm going to show them pictures about all of this and then help them all come back as well.
If they would like.
If they
Yeah.
would
And
like.
many of them actually would very much like to come back. They've grown older and maybe are not able to for health reasons or maybe for monetary reasons. I mean, it's pretty expensive to come to fly over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but we will try to do our best to make sure that everybody who wants to come back can come back.
So since you came back, have you been to GIS?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes.
We spent like 2 hours there.
Oh, you spent 2 hours there.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what's the difference between then and now?
They have a brand new library.
Okay.
They have grown substantially in terms of the buildings, the architecture, the students, the same soccer field. Exactly as the way we left it.
Yeah.
The way you used to play.
Exactly.
Yes.
The field is there. The assembly hall where we'd meet every morning before school, that's still there, exactly the same. The classroom where I did Form 1 and 2, they are still there.
Yes.
But their health facility for the school now.
Now there.
Is now
so
there.
They've greatly expanded.
Yeah.
And they've also, you know, they've gone media. They've come into the present in terms of their technology and that kind of thing. And so-
Computers, digital.
Yes.
Yes.
And reaching out. So we will be able to have contact with them when we go back. We'll be able to, you know, they have Facebook, of course, and email and that kind of thing. And so this year is their actually it's in the fall, is their 70th anniversary.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
but their mission has stayed the same.
Yeah.
Which is understanding other people as their...
Right.
In fact, when we were there as kids, they had a competition for the school song. And one of my friends won the competition and wrote the lyrics.
Right.
We remembered the song and we sang it with them when we went back.
Oh, so you still remember the song?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Not singing.
How come you've forgotten? How come you haven't forgotten?
Because we were there for...
So you
we were
can
in
sing a bit
school-
of it for me?
We were in...
It helped that she was singing it and leading us.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
much easier that way.
Right.
Maybe
But the main thing is understanding of each other.
Right.
And that's the key point of the song.
Right.
And that idea, understanding of each other, you know, we're Americans and we live in a country that is not always understanding of everyone else. And we are kind of ambassadors from Ghana about the world idea that we shouldn't judge each other. We should understand and empathize with each other. And we learned that here in Ghana.
Yes, it's true.
So what about Maoli?
Maoli has grown. There were 600 students when I graduated at Maoli. Now there are 5,000. We used to have 5 forms and then 2 up to A level. Now they only have 1, 2, and 3, and of the whole 5,000, just 3, but it's free now.
Yes.
When I went to school there,
yeah.
I had classmates that the whole village would pay the tuition for them to go to school, one person, and then they would go back, become a doctor, go back and help the village. That was the common practice. Now it's free. And I think when we were here, Kwame Nkrumah's, one of his main ideas was to educate everyone, and that will bring Ghana into the world. Yeah.
So which hall were you? Which house?
I was Wilberforce House.
Oh, Wilberforce. That's the most popular house, right?
Yes. And in fact, when I was at Wilberforce House, I was born in the master's cottage there.
Oh, really?
Yes, I was born actually on the campus of Maoli.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The Maoli's in your blood.
It's in my blood, yes.
Not only is he a Ghanaian, but he's a Maolian.
Very, very true. Very true.
Yeah.
So with regards to the things that you saw, what changes do you think the government can do to fix the Maoli issue? Because if they are still Form 1 to Form 3, over 5,000 students, I mean, you've been there, you've seen it. What can be done?
Well, I think the one thing that will help the whole country and Maoli is to start investing in solar. Because if you look, my father did the same thing in a different kind of technology. He was a scientist. He wanted to bring electricity and the use of running water and electricity to Africa, basically, by teaching people the technology. Now, if we go on to the next level of technology, I know he would be teaching about solar, because if you put solar panels on your roof, you have electricity, you can have a portable generator, you can cool an electric car and the batteries inside that, and you can produce your own electricity. Once you have electricity, you can bring Wi-Fi. You have a computer in every house. You can learn up to the university level any subject on the internet.
Yeah.
So it would be a way to bring the technology that is renewable to this country. It would put this country on the same footing as any other country.
Since you've been here, what have you enjoyed the most?
The food.
The food?
Other than the people. I mentioned the people.
Yeah.
That's so important. Just so welcoming and so warm and accommodating and genuine. But definitely the food. Oh, fufu, all the fruits. Mango, oh my gosh, mango is in season.
Mango,
you have the best mangoes. When I first went back to the States, I was so disappointed when I tried a mango that I found in the store. I was so disappointed when I tried a banana. It had no taste to it.
Yeah.
Bananas here are just premium. They're so good. And so yeah, all the fruit, all the food, red, fufu.
Oh, you call it red. I like that. You're true Ghanaians.
Well, Ghanaians. Yes.
Sweet pads.
We know how to make those dishes.
Oh, you can cook?
When we learned how to cook them, make them, prepare them when we grew up here.
Oh, wow.
Yes, our parents made sure that we knew, and then we took recipes back. Groundnut stew. We all know how to make really good groundnut stew.
Really?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Then, you should have, did any of you marry a Ghanaian?
No, we didn't.
No.
But several of our group did marry Ghanaians.
Okay.
Yes.
But I'm just wondering why, when you left, it took so long before you came back.
Well, I actually came back in 2000 for the 50th anniversary of Maoli. And my father came with us, and he was given some accommodations and so on. But it's difficult to make the trip because we have a mindset that it's so far away. And it's hard to maintain contacts with people to know where to go, where to get transportation and all that. And I think we've figured that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was much harder before the internet and talking to people across the ocean. But I came back in '85, and then in 2014, when the U.S. beat Ghana, in the World Cup.
Yeah.
And Daniel, our host, was watching that together.
Yeah.
And I was actually rooting for Ghana.
But Daniel has been a great help in figuring out all the connections.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
But part of the reason was my wife and I brought our two sons, or two of our sons, and Ed has brought some of his family
Two of
this
my
year.
children.
So that's part of the reason for coming.
So you want your children to get to know
where we grew up.
And my grandchildren, too.
Oh, your grandchildren? How many grandchildren do you have?
I have 5, but I brought 3.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. That's You all have grandchildren, too?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's lovely.
I have 3.
You have 3?
One on the way.
Oh, one on the way.
Right.
That's nice. Congratulations
youngest,
on advice.
right?
Oh, but he's 67.
67.
67.
Oh, 67, yeah. So one on the way. More will come.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. So would you ever want any of your generation to school in Ghana?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
You know, the experience of growing up and here, just the cultural experience, but also the educational experience, especially at GIS, which is really, it's an international school.
Yeah.
There is nothing like that experience to teach you the values that are so important to being a human being. And we don't get as much of that in the United States. In fact, the academia here, even the public schools are so much more advanced than U.S. schools.
Oh, really?
Yes, they are, academically, absolutely.
In fact, when I finished Maoli in 1970, I went to university. I was 2 years ahead. I'd already learned calculus, and they were just starting calculus. So I think if the country keeps up high levels of academic standards, that is a good thing.
That's also, yes.
Of course, when are you coming back next?
As soon as possible.
To be determined.
We haven't set a date.
Yeah.
I'll probably be back in October.
That's great.
Yeah.
So as you're coming back, definitely people are going to expect you to bring something, not maybe goods or something, but what are you bringing to impact maybe Maoli, GIS, where you grew up? What are you bringing?
Well, I think there's a lot of different things we can bring, and we can bring some things that are important to us in our country as gifts. I also have this band that I'm working with, and we have
I love your band already.
a couple of, it's called the Boarding House Gang.
Okay,
yeah.
That's nice.
So a couple of us will probably bring different types of arts and crafts products back with us, maybe documentary or some photography, etc.
And maybe musical.
And musical. We're working on our next album, so we can dedicate it to the next trip.
It'll be good to have a tour and come to Ghana for one of your tours.
Right.
Yes.
It'll be great.
And maybe some collaboration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So who's your favorite musician in Ghana so far?
Oh my! I've not kept up.
Kobina.
Oh, Kobina! Oh, okay.
He's definitely my favorite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you know any of his songs?
I don't, but I will.
Okay. So what about him do you like then?
I love his style of music.
Okay.
And I love the way he's able to present. Yes, he has a wonderful personality.
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
He really, really does.
And the melodies are just magial.
Okay.
Yes.
That's great. He has a concert coming up on the 14th. But
I noticed that. I wanted to stay for it.
You won't be in town. What about you? Do you have a favorite?
I don't. It's hard to keep up with high life from overseas.
Okay. But who's your favorite Ghanaian footballer then? Because you're a footballer.
Oh.
Haven't even kept up.
Jonathan Mensah is one of my favorites.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he played for the Columbus Crew where I live.
Okay.
And so he was the captain of the team, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
And there was another one, Yaboa, who was also good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it Tony Yaboa?
There was 2 of them.
Okay.
There was one that just left Columbus. I think he's went to New England.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You have really kept your tithe very, very well.
I'm Ghanaian.
I like that.
Well, I tend to like to play more than watch.
Yeah.
So I just haven't. I really didn't even watch Premier League until like this year. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because you're always playing.
It's just more fun to go out and
Play.
kick the ball around.
Right.
That's nice. So as we are here in Ghana, of course, like you've come, we love that you're here. I know some people watching will be asking, will there be an opportunity where maybe if there's maybe scholarship or something abroad, you will be there willing to help some of the students either from GIS or MAI to take them there? Have you thought about that, considered that?
I think our first step is to get our group to help sponsor someone at GIS, a student in their boarding program or something, to give them a scholarship to be able to go to school there. And I think we'll start with that. That might be a next step to have someone go to abroad.
That'll be great.
And also materials. We're going to be collecting funds, raising funds so that we can help purchase materials for the schools that really need books and things, technology and things like that. And I agree. I think that's the first step.
A drop in the bucket, but
yes, every little bit helps.
Yeah, that's true. Every little helps. You know, there are people who are in certain areas and all they need is a pencil.
Yes. Yes. Something to write on.
Something to write on. Yeah. Has Volta region developed though since you left?
Oh, yeah. It has developed a lot. And in fact, Ho, for example, only had one school when I was there, and now they have like 4 universities, which is, and it's grown so much. It's amazing.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
So you were surprised when you went there?
Very surprised.
Oh.
Yes.
When I lived there, I could walk through town myself and go to the market, go from one end of the town just walking. Now it's so spread out, you'll need a car or a bicycle. Yeah.
So, you know, you stayed here, lived here 17 years before you left. When you went back, was there, you know, that cultural confusion?
Yes.
It was. I especially experienced some cultural issues.
Okay.
And you know, it was because, and I didn't expect it. Nobody told me, you know, that I wouldn't really fit in. So with the white Americans, I didn't fit in. They have an American culture. They grew up as Americans. They didn't understand me. A lot of their words they used, a lot of the sayings they used, their cultural practices were different. They were foreign to me, and I thought that maybe I would get along with or fit in better with the African Americans, but that also didn't happen because you know, they're raised as Americans, right? And so they have their own culture and their own language and words and stuff, but nevertheless, it's American, you know, influenced, if you will.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really fit anywhere, and I was very lonely. I missed Ghana quite a bit for the first year or so until I was able to, you know, learn the culture and assimilate. So.
Was the same for you as well?
No, I think part of it was football because I would go and play pickup games and meet a lot of people that way, and I didn't seem to have any trouble.
Okay.
And in my situation,
I did question it because I mean, this football that they had, totally different. You know, it seemed silly to me. But, you know, now I love watching Ohio State football.
So what about you? Was the same for you?
I had a difficult time at first, but I got into the field of mental health and psychology.
Okay.
And so I worked with a lot of people who were, by personality, non-judgmental and accepting of everyone wherever they were. And you know, I ended up being a director of a mental health center, a government-run mental health center. And it was very strange because I hired many Ghanaians because I knew their natural personality is very emotionally compelling, that they also look out for each other, they take care of each other, they're very nurturing from their personality. And one time I had one of the staff said to me, "That's nepotism because I'm hiring all the Ghanaians."
Because you love them all.
Yeah, right. They're family in a way. But it worked out very well because they were able to show the kind of values that we have in Ghana in the practice of mental health care. And it was very effective.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So for you, how long did it take before you were able to fit in?
It was about a year or so.
Oh wow, that's long.
Yes, but and part of the reason was I didn't have the availability of soccer where I was, and I was commuting to the junior college that I was going to in Daytona Beach. I was commuting like an hour and a half each day, each way, you know, and so I spent all my time on campus studying and that kind of thing. But there were 2 school counselors who were there, and they noticed that I didn't understand the American academic system about classes. Like, in Ghana, we went to like maths, we did it every day of the week.
Yeah.
There, they would do maths on Tuesday and Thursday. And so I missed a couple of, I would come in and I'd be like, where's my math class? They'd say, no, we don't have it today. So I got confused, and they sort of took me under their wing, and they talked to me a lot, and we had lots of chats about, coming to America and being in Ghana, and like your colleagues, they were, non-judgmental, and they were nurturing toward me. And so within a year, I was able to, and they helped me find other friends. They got me involved with helping other students on campus and the organizations that they were working with. And so it was, and that's actually one of the reasons why I also went into mental health. And so I have a doctorate in counseling psychology.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
I think at the same time, all of us felt on a daily basis that there's something missing in our lives because we're not where we came from. And no one around us understood the difference between living in the rainforest, for example, versus living in the U.S. And that's why coming back here has been very cathartic for us. It's been wonderful.
So for the people there, their lives are very different. For us, we are homely, so I'll say they are not as homely as we are, but you were able to bridge that gap. And was there a time where you used to call your parents and tell your parents that you wanted to come to school here in Ghana? Or at that point, you felt like, okay, even though I'm struggling, I still think that this place has a better life and I still want to be here.
Well, for me, actually for all of us, I thought about that, but there was no way. We couldn't call our parents at that time.
Oh, there was no phone?
Oh, there were no phones. Well, there were phones, but you couldn't go
really call like
transatlantic. It was very difficult to do. You would have to schedule the call. So letter writing was the only way. So we would there would be like a 1-month lag between when we wrote the letter and we got the response. So that was out. So we were pretty much stuck, right? But we made do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also what Ghanaians taught us living here was you make do with what you have. Yeah.
Yes.
And
you adapt.
You adapt, and you are very resourceful, and you're very creative, and all of those values really, really helped us as we went to the States.
They always say the last ones or the youngest are very, very adaptive. Like, give me anything, give me lemons, I'll turn it into lemonade. I can't be bothered, I'm good. And the same with you, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You just fit in, everything went so well for you. So when you went, were you with your brothers or you were in a different school?
No, back to the U.S.?
Yeah, back to the U.S.
No. In fact, I flew by myself to New York. And
it's always like that with the last one.
Right?
Yeah.
Parents just said,
go, bye.
and got ready for university and orientation pretty much by myself until they returned from Ghana, and we met up in the summer.
Okay.
But you were in Columbus, right?
I went to
Columbus. So the two of them were very close.
Okay.
And
I moved my family in the U.S. to Columbus to be with my brother.
Okay.
And my parents were there then, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But once again, I was down in Florida, so, much farther away. And, again, even back then, telephones weren't nearly as, as available, if you will.
And we have a grandmother and an aunt that live in Florida near.
Okay.
Yes, so I lived with my grandmother.
Okay.
And it was, and that was wonderful too. She was a wonderful woman.
Yeah. So the community, those that you went to school here in Ghana and they are in the U.S. with you, they are also going to come back, you said?
I think many of them will.
Okay.
Yes.
So what plans do you have as you come back?
We're going to work on that at the retreat in October when we all meet. I'm going to make a documentary film of all of this.
Okay.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Right here. Rosalind. Oh my gosh.
Today is your birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday, Rosalind.
Thank you so much.
So this actually is a bouquet of flowers, not from us, but it is from your lovely husband.
Oh!
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So Mr. Felly sends all his love
thank you.
to you on this special day.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
we also have
thank you.
a beautiful
Hey, you have
birthday
a cake?
from him as well.
Oh,
Mr.
thank
Felly.
you. the best husband in the whole world. Oh, thank you so much. Can I give you guys a hug? Let me give you a hug. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
It's our
I'm so
pleasure.
grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, this.
No forgot to subscribe to Master Manager Niger News. Subscribe, okay. Subscribe.